Okay, so let's look at the media planning assistant that I created using AI. I used ChatGPT, logged into my subscription account of ChatGPT, and created a custom GPT. Within the custom GPT, I uploaded a knowledge base. So I created a fictitious brand called FitPro, which is a gym concept. It has 300 locations in the US. I asked GPT to actually create some synthetic data for me around this fictitious brand. So it created some synthetic brand guidelines, some sample creative assets, some market research, some audience persona documentation. So just some basic stuff. And I uploaded that as a knowledge base. Then I created a custom set of instructions for my GPT. So those set of instructions really put some guardrails in place and some rules around how I want it to navigate the media plan creation process. Once I did that, I went ahead and tested the GPT a few times just to make sure that it was doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So let's take it for a test drive. So you can ask it for any type of media plan that you need. I'm asking it for a grand opening campaign media plan. The first thing it's doing is it's asking me a question. What is the campaign's primary objective? So I'm going to say the combo of brand awareness and new member signups. Okay. So it's got that information. Now it's asking me what the geographic scope is for the grand opening campaign. So I'm going to say it's for the Tampa location. So it's going to focus on the Tampa area. Now it's asking me for my KPI. So I'm going to say, let's go for a $30 CPA. All right. So it's got my target CPA. Now it's going to ask me for the start and end date for the campaign. It's recommending that for a grand opening, we start about 4 weeks before the opening date and then run it for about 8 weeks after. So I will say that's fine. The location opens on March 1st. And of course, if that time frame didn't work for you, you could always ask it to produce a different time frame. So it says, okay, it's giving me the dates for the campaign. And now it's asking me for my budget. And I'm going to say, please recommend a good budget. All right. So now it's providing me, based on the target CPA of $30, a suggested budget of between $15,000 and $20,000. And it's giving me the rationale for this. It's saying you've got some awareness that needs to happen. You've got the opening in the month of March, which is going to be a heavy focus on acquiring memberships. And then you've got the post-opening period. It's also taken into account the fact that this is a Tampa campaign. And of course, it's a busy metropolitan city, taking into account the dynamics of that market. So it's asking me now if I'd like to proceed with this range. I don't have to proceed with this range. I can say I need another budget. So let me say I only have $5,000. Okay, so it's come back with a $5,000 budget. We'll create a highly focused and efficient media plan to achieve brand awareness and new member signups. So it's asking for the next steps to finalize the plan. And it's giving me a quick confirmation on if I have any preferences for specific channels. And I'm going to say, please go ahead and recommend. Okay. And so with that, it's coming back with the finalized comprehensive media plan. It's laying out our media channels, the audience targeting, which it used our knowledge base in order to derive what that audience targeting would look like. The geo-targeting, it's recommending a 10-mile radius around the Tampa location. And then also it's recommending to layer on some zip code targeting. And then finally, it's given me this table with a monthly budget by channel and then some creative focus ideas as to what we should input into our creative messaging. And then it's also given me, right at the end here, some landing page recommendations. So what should the landing page look like? What should we consider when creating a landing page or a microsite for this location? And then finally, it's asking me if I'd like to see a mock-up visual of any of these ideas. So I'm going to say yes, please. Now it's going to use the Dall-E AI model to create a visual representation of what it thinks some of this creative could look like. Of course, we're not going to be able to use this creative in an actual ad, but this is really more for inspiration. So here it's come up with a concept of what it could look like. I don't really like what it's come up with. It looks too busy to me. So I'll ask it to regenerate, see what it could come up with again. And then at any time, if we want to ask it to adjust the media plan, we can also ask it to do that. We don't have to go with the first recommendation that it comes with. We can always tweak it. But let's see what it comes up with now. Okay, that's a lot better. It's come up with a less cluttered version of what that could look like. It's using the brand colors. It's using that kind of clean look and feel. So this gives me some ideas for my creative production.